Hey guys, as others say, welcome back to the channel. Anyway, so this guy here, he's got a little boo-boo. He's missing bolts. Busted tie wire. I'm kidding. That's not all that's wrong with it. This is a pretty serious problem. Looks like they greased it plenty enough. Yeah. So grease worms didn't eat it. So they got grease everywhere. Grease all over here, grease all over there, grease all over there. Crazy thing's got so much grease, it's caught so much dirt. I've got an interesting theory about greasing your equipment, but that's for another subject, another day. But if you guys notice, that guy's a little crooked. So something is not right. Let's jump in real quick. Let's start this baby up. Let's see. Oh, sorry, take the lock off it. That's what's wrong with it. Both sides. So hopefully this will be an interesting one for you. I've made this repair onto Bobcats, Bobcat skid steers, and now this will be my first John Deere. So let's get after it. Hey, get out of the shot. All right, let's get after it. All right, good morning, guys. So these are the parts the customer dropped off. That's real nice. Sleeve, taper, taper, sleeve, and okay, better. Not so good. Used bolt. That's gonna stink, because I learned from a buddy of mine that these bolts take 398 foot-pounds of torque, and a used bolt with kind of slightly chewed up threads is not good. He's gonna end up back here in the same spot. I'm a little concerned about that. Look at those threads. Of all that money he spent right there, it's going to ruin it because of bolts. So I've got a message in with him, send a text. This one's, I'm waiting because I don't even want to start at the moment. I'll probably start here when he gives me a call back, but I'm just concerned. But either way, this is the way I found this. The nut came loose. And that one, I think it's in there. I'm not exactly sure. Of course, they had the caps, and grease cover caps, which is good. However, I'm at a bit of an impasse at the moment. One of the things that this was super loose in there too, and I hope that the bearing surface, or where the pressed in bushings go, I hope they're not chewed up too bad, because he wasn't expecting that bill, the machining of the line boring. So I've got, like I said, I got a message in with them to see how they want to approach this. And so this is the struggle between the customer and the repair place, which is me. And I don't want to do too much in case he gets all upset, and I'm afraid of him taking shortcuts is going to make me look bad, as far as not going with the right bolt, etc. Alright, so I guess this video will continue eventually, so hang tight and we'll see what comes of it. Okay, one side down. Well, should have done it to begin with. What's the problem? Okay, it should come right off. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't want those things to come out. Either way. Yeah. Those are fine. Okay, for now. Okay, so it was a struggle getting that out because for some reason it has an edge going that way that it didn't, pins didn't want to come out. We struggled pretty good, but that is pretty wore out. Hopefully there's some bearing material still left. That gives me a little hope. There's like what looks to be like a 1/16 of material right along that edge, and this looks like it wore out down here. So I'll just have to see if I can build that up, or I don't know. But fortunately those bearings are still hard pressed in there, so we'll try and get those knocked out first after we clean this up, because this is just a mess. It's nasty. But anyway, I'm gonna do a little cleanup on the loader arms, and I'll start gouging those pieces off first while my helper my dad will clean this all up for me so I can start working on that. So all right, next step. Yeah, beautiful. Hey. Hey. Okay, so we've got to the next step. Now it's cutting these guys off. These taper pins really got wallered out, if that's even a word. It is in the United States. Wallered. Either way, this one's pretty bad too. So what I'll do here is I'll take a measurement from the outside to the outside, make sure that that's right, and you know, just center it up and just glue them back on there. You need something to hold them straight naturally, right? So I'll clamp them up with a piece of angle iron or something and make sure that they're in parallel. And as I mentioned before, I'm hoping that those bearings come out. Got my pops over there cleaning off all the junk off of it. That way we can see in there a little bit better, and hopefully hopefully we can get those out with very minimal buildup around the outer perimeter of the opening. We'll have to see. I mean, that is just a mess in general. So I'm gonna have to be using my welding rig for the gouging, since my Dynasty is still out of commission. So there's gonna be a lot of noise. So I might fast forward you guys through part of this, and I might end up showing you a little bit with the Weld lens on here, how I see what I gouge this off with. So I'll put the stand right around in there somewhere. Maybe you guys can see what I see. All right, let's keep trucking. So being as how this is a sacrificial piece, I went ahead and allowed myself to dig into this rather than to dig into the arm. Now if you look closely, you can see the separation line right in there. Right there is about 3/4 of an inch, maybe an inch. and I missed a little bit here, so I'm gonna go over it again and try and make that more definite or more visible. Okay, so you can kind of see a lot of dirt in there. It's kind of hard to follow at first. Now these side ones are a little bit more challenging. For some reason, it seems like those were 100% welded because of the radius cut out on the side plate was a little bit off. So it's just full of weld and very hard to find. That's why I chewed up the other one so bad. So if that's the case, I'm going to do the same thing as I did the other one until I can find a separation line. Alright, so not too bad. Got them off. Man, it's packed with mud. Well, it's mud now, right? Guess there's water in there. Same thing here. Fortunately, I was able to save that line there, and you can, as I clean it up, you'll be able to see where the original parent metal or the shape of the original parent metal is, which is good because that'll help us stay lined up. So I'll clean all that up here in a minute. Grab a bite to eat right quick and then come back at doing this. But this part is almost done. Now it's just a matter of tacking them on there and welding them up. So that's looking good. And this guy got cleaned up a little bit here, so it looks nice. You can see the edge of the bearing. Now that doesn't allow for the seal. So depending on what the customer says, because he does grease it, so he may not want that seal. Oh, there it is. Look at that. See those edges in there? Golly, I could not get that pin out that way, the way it's supposed to come out. That makes perfect sense. However, that almost looks like a weld. Like they welded from that side to hold that bearing in there. Crud, I hope that's not what it is. either way. So if the customer is willing to have this line board, and great. If not, we're just gonna hammer that bearing in there and let her go. I don't like doing that, but sometimes these customers, you know, they make up their own minds. So it is what it is. This is a new customer, so he hasn't been familiar with my type of work, that I like to do it, you know, the right way. But sometimes they get a little too hurried to get it back to work. So we shall see what they decide. Yeah, this one here also. So hopefully, man, that looks like a weld, or I don't know what that is back in there. But that makes perfect sense why we couldn't knock the pin. That's why I had to torch them out. Okay, well, once we get those out, we'll be able to tell a little bit more, see what the deal is with that. But time for lunch. All right, see you guys in a bit. Okay, look at this, just as I expected. There is weld in there. Very nice. Well, I guess that'll help hold that pin in there. That is wonderful. Not really. So that makes perfect sense why we were having trouble getting these pins out to come out this way. And they weren't ever going to come out this way no matter how hard you tried. So that's why I had to cut them. Makes more sense. Now you start uncovering the facts, just the facts. So I'll have to see how much they welded on there, or if that has a shoulder, how far back it goes. Man, not gonna be fun. Oh well. It's lunchtime. I'll see you guys. Alright, so now that the first part is over, the more difficult part is next. And it's funny because just not long ago I said do the most difficult part first while you still got energy. But this was so dirty that I opted to do the arms first. And so I'm gonna see if these will hammer out. As mentioned before, these have welds in them. I don't know if the welds will break loose. But they gotta come out no matter what. So, you know, I don't know if the customer's gonna want me to just press in a new set, clean up that weld. All right, guys. Well, the customer brought the machine, this thing back, because he wasn't pleased that I don't work weekends. So he decided to knock these things out himself. Sorry about the video; it just cut out earlier, ran out of battery. But he brought it back, got them out. Good job. However, I'm not pleased about that. He didn't want me to do anything with that. He wanted me to weld, fill that up with weld, and sort of hold it in place. It's like, really? So I'm just glad I'm kind of documenting this so that he knows and I know that he did it, because I'm not a very big fan of this shortcut. But you know, customer's always right, I guess. Hopefully he doesn't come back too soon and start saying that this is my fault. It's always a worry. But either way, I'm not a fan of shortcuts at all. Anyway, so I got that done. Those came out good. That's gonna be nice. He brought some bolts over so that we can put it back together. He says, I got some new bolts. Like, well, it's not a new bolt. And at 400 pounds of torque, 398 actually. We'll have to see. Either way, not a happy camper this time, but it is what it is. So I might have a video of me putting it back together, I'm not sure, but if not, we will catch you guys on the next one. So here we go. So we got this finished up. I'm not happy with it, but I guess the customer should be happy. It's not loose anymore. I was looking forward to line boring it, but nothing. So it is what it is. And so thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.